Former Mississippi Governor Hayley Barbour joins us now. He also used to chair the Republican National Committee. Welcome, Governor.
Thanks, Charlie.
I want to get to Etch-a-Sketch in just a moment, but first, this decision and this endorsement by Jeb Bush, who says it's time to unite.
Well, that's for the candidates to decide. These guys have been out there and they've run and worked hard, and it's not for me to say people ought to get out. Pretty soon, the Republican voters are going to have coalesced behind somebody. Hadn't done that yet, but maybe we're on the verge of that. And that's when the decisions ought to be made, not for somebody else to say so-and-so ought to get out of the way. That's not the way the system works.
Yeah, but you yourself have said about this campaign, it's all been about each other, and they have not focused on the president. And if they don't do that, they're going to be in a bad place when the general election comes.
There's no question that every minute that Republicans spend talking about anything other than Barack Obama's policies and the failed results of those policies, then we're not on our best subject.
Are you prepared to unite and support Governor Romney?
Well, once this is over, and we may be on the verge of that, but I don't know. One thing I've got smart enough about the unpredictability of this race is I quit predicting because I'm not that dumb. But the fact of the matter is, Romney now has a chance again to build on Illinois and get people to coalesce behind him. And, you know, that may or may not happen, but that's really up to the Republican voters. And you got to trust the voters. That's the way this system should work.
You also have a political race here, and you have a candidate who conservatives don't seem to be sure about. And now you have this Etch-a-Sketch thing. Does that simply make their doubts deeper?
Well, let me say, first of all, yeah, Mitt Romney's not as conservative as Hayley Barbour, but he is far, far, far better than Barack Obama. Yeah. And that's what this is about.
And is he conservative enough for Hayley Barbour?
Against Barack Obama? You better believe it. There's no question about that. Barack Obama's the great uniter of Republicans. And if Mitt wins the nomination, or Rick or Newt or anybody else.
So you're saying that if Mitt Romney is the nominee, he'll have no problem with conservatives?
If
no
Mitt Romney's
problem, they'll be there with the candidate.
Our party will unite behind him, and there's always going to be somebody saying he's not perfect. Well, there's not going to be a perfect candidate this year or any other year that I've ever been involved in politics.
Not going to be a perfect candidate. I want to go back to one of the things you touched on with Charlie, though. As we talk about this drawn-out process, you yourself have said this is bad for the process to draw it out like that, yet I know you don't want to influence anybody's vote. So should anybody then be speaking out? Should we have Jeb Bush supporting him? Should we have people pushing for those endorsements?
I think it's fine for people to do that. I'm not going to do it. I don't.
Do you think they're effective, though? An endorsement?
Oh, sometimes. I think Jeb Bush is a very, very popular, well-regarded, and rightly well-regarded person in our party from a very important target state.
Is there anybody who you think could come out in support of a different candidate, say Rick Santorum, say Newt Gingrich, who you voted for in your primary, who you think would be an important voice for one of them, who could tip the tables?
Oh, I don't know about tipping the tables. I mean, people are important. People get listened to, have influence, but endorsements usually don't change people's votes. May get them to think about something, may put something in their mind. But in this contest, when I say the process has been bad, it's for the reason Charlie said. It's not that it's bad to have a contest. We need to be focused on Obama's policies. If this election is a referendum on Obama's policies, he's going to lose.
And if it is not? If it is not on his policies, Republicans will lose?
No, he has a better chance of winning if it's not about his policies. And that's why you hear his supporters say, oh, it's not a referendum on his policies. Well, they don't want it to be.
The economy is improving, so the president will go to the country and saying things are in much better shape. They're trending up. So my policies are at long last working.
Well, to hear the administration and the liberal media elites, you would think that the economy is getting great. But Charlie, you know, when we were growing up,
I didn't realize you think the Federal Reserve Chairman is a liberal media elite.
When you get to, well, the Federal Reserve Chairman has talked about the headwinds, the problems, the difficulties, the pitfalls. But the economy is, thank goodness, getting a little better. But it reminds me when we were kids in the South, it used to be a country song. And the lyrics were, I've been down so long, it looks like up to me now.
I know the song, Governor, I know the song.
And so compared to Obama's policies for the last couple of years, we have seen a little improvement in employment. But Charlie, last month, 58.6% of Americans had a job. 58.6% of adult Americans were working. Except for the Obama administration, that is the lowest percentage since 1983.
So jobs
for 30 years. And so I hope it gets better, but let's don't act like this is morning in America.
A phrase that Ronald Reagan used at the time of his second campaign. Thank you, Governor. It's great to see you.
Thank you, Charlie.
Come back anytime.
Yes, sir.